page 18 of your statement. It's annexure LA05.
Page 18,
Yes.
file,
It's the first file, file 1.
file 1,
Yes.
page 18.
1.8, yes.
Yes.
Now, you will remember while having a discussion with Commissioner Baloyi, and you were asked about the deployment letters relating to Klaperkop pump station and Brickfields pump station. And part of the discussion between the two of you was that, at least in this email, we see that Goobies, or at least some of their staff members were copied on that email.
Yes.
And then in explanation, you said that you carried out this instruction, but then while this took place a bit earlier, as this email is dated the 7th,
Yes.
you, however, when you dealt with your letters of the 14th, you did not see the need to backdate because you had to deal with it as and when you were dealing with those letters.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And remember, part of that discussion, it started from when you were reading paragraph 15 and 16, where there was a bit of a disjoinder
Yes.
of the two paragraphs.
Yes.
Yes. Now, I want to put it to you that that answer that you gave is incorrect,
Yes.
because I want to draw your attention. If you go to file 2, the second file,
Yes. Yes.
and you go to page 8.1. Let's start with 8.1.
Yes.
Yes, you will see that. Remember, this is where you say, well, the reason why you gave this instruction to Goobies is because you were told to do so, and you acted according to that, and you made sure that that is done. But when you look at page 81, you will see that that letter is dated the 1st of January, and you will see that your signature appears at the bottom, and there's a date to it, says 0701,
Yes.
2025.
Yes.
Now, you will see the same, so this one deals with brick fails, and you'll see on page 83, the same letter dealing with Klaperkop.
Yes.
Similarly, it's dated the 1st of January, and you will see that your date says 0701,
Yes.
2025.
Yes.
And you will see the number of the armed guards, the number of the patrol personnel in the vehicle, they accord with what's on the email. You accept that as well?
Yes.
Yes.
The 7th, remember when Commissioner Baloyi asked me the question, he was referring to page 77.
No, I'm saying to you, I'm putting it to you to say that answer of yours could not have been correct.
Yes, was incorrect.
Yes. You accept that?
Yes, I do.
It doesn't speak to the 14th.
It doesn't speak to the 14th
Yes.
of this letter.
So we cannot rely then on that email to say that gave you authority with regard to the letters of the 14th. At least you have to accept that. This email refers to the 7th, and your letters also refer to the 7th. So we'll come and deal with the 14th, but at least let's accept that.
I accept that.
Yes.
In fact, I remember that I did it on the 7th.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now we still have to deal with the issue of the 14th to say, where did you obtain your instructions, and also not just the instructions of authority, but also to specifically allocate to Goobies. But at least we have to put that aside, that those letters of the 14th had nothing to do with what Director Malachi had written on that email, because separate letters exist for that allocation. Mr. Phiri, you'll accept that 3 people came to testify before this commission
Yes.
dealing with the issue of these letters. We had DC Spies, we had DC Ballhays, and we also had Director Malachi.
Yes.
And the crux of their testimony is that they never gave you an instructions, or you never had authority to allocate any sites to Goobies as you did. When we, can we go to file number 3 and go to page 59? In fact, go to 69 to get to the point.
69.
69, please.
And there.
Now, this is Director Malachi's statement, which when he was being deposed to, he stood by the statement, and this was also recorded in the transcript. So at paragraph 23, when in fact, let's deal with 24. When asked the question whether I delegated powers of allocation to anyone, in particular Mr. A.L. Phiri, in respect of the sites to be guarded by the service providers rendering services under TMPD 02/2016-2017. And then he says this: I have not delegated powers of allocation to anyone in respect of the sites to be guarded by the service providers rendering services under TMPD 02/2016-2017. And then the question says whether you approved or mandated allocation of security services, in particular Goobies 85, in the period between December 2024 to 30 June 2025. And he says that he did not approve or mandate the allocation of the security to Goobies in the period between December 2024 and June 2025. Do you have anything to say in relation to his evidence in that regard?
Paragraph 24, it is already answered with the email that says, get Phiri to run with it, commissioners. Director Malachi was incorrect. And to further state, immediately when you hand me a department, the emails will suggest the updated list. The email will tell you that now you can speak directly to Mr. Phiri, commissioners. This statement is incorrect and malicious. And I did not approve or mandate the allocation of ad hoc security services to Goobies 85 Solutions Limited in the period between December 2024 to June 2025. We had a meeting with Herman Sekgolela, where Director Malachi said I must convene that meeting. And in saying that, in that meeting, I don't have the minutes, but his secretary was there, must have that minutes. He said to Herman Sekgolela, hence you will see that in the emails that I attach, now Mr. Herman Sekgolela tells me, updated list, redeploy, cancel this one, send to this one. It is because he's told, as a representative of Water and Sanitation Business Unit, that now you communicate to Phiri under the instruction in that meeting. It's unfortunate I don't have those minutes. Now, Advocate Msikidi, let me tell you something that you were not told in this commission. My letter of deployment doesn't give SCM or creditors to pay. and you can dispute that letter. Now, how things work in Tshwane is that you get an invoice. That is the part that is missing in these statements that are made frivolously about my name. When you get that invoice, I don't sign that invoice. I don't. I'm not even involved there. I've already told you that I made sure that the guards are there. Now, you put your signature as Director Malachi, and you are validating what you said you did not approve. But you are approving it by signing it. And then you send it to DC Boles. He signs it at that amount. Then it goes to Finance or Department of Water. They take it at face value. Is that possible? To me, it's not. The people knew and they signed. They validated what was written there. So if he says, I did not approve or mandate, then how does that happen until June? So this statement, to put it mildly, is incorrect.
Can I just ask this? The page 18 document, email from Director Malachi, it nominates 2 pump stations by
Yes.
name, Klapperkop and Brickfields.
Yes.
But then your letters, it's quite a number of letters,
Yes.
and they deal with different pump stations.
Yes.
Where do you draw the authority, to the extent that you have given us this letter, this email at page 18 as the source of authority?
Yes.
Or as evidence that you were given directions to deal with this, which on the face of it I accept.
Yes.
But then your instruction, your letters of deployment cover quite a lot of stations
Yes.
or facilities, if you like.
Yes.
Where does that power, your power to have given in respect of the many others, where do you say that comes from?
If we go to page 7 of my annexures, it is Friday, January 10th, 2025. Now, Herman Sekholela, being told in a meeting that the person who will be dealing with your problems is Mr. Lebohang Phiri. He sends an email at 11:23 a.m. Mr. Phiri, I hope this finds you well. This is the updated list. But here, he sends this to me and my supervisor, which is Dr. Elvis Kwapeng Madiklaba. Now, the authority came with that email. Let him run with it. It is given to Dr. Elvis Kwapeng Madiklaba. There is no need for now, because we had a meeting. We convened the meeting on the 6th. We agreed that Mr. Phiri will run with the process. Now, for ease of operation, because director has other issues that he must deal with, it's not only water and sanitation. There have to be meetings, Section 79 meetings and stuff. Herman Sekholela now, he knows that Director Malachi gave me a point.
So he's the one that gives you the list of stations.
Now he gives me the list of stations. Is his allocation, his deployment. What I must do now is to go there and make sure that indeed this is the place.
Okay, so you're not saying page 18 is the power you have to deploy to the many other stations? Because page 18 speaks only to Brickfields and Klapperkop, right? That's your
Yes.
page 18.
Yes.
It's specific to those two stations.
Yes.
You are saying to us that it is the meeting, that this meeting you're referring to,
Yes.
and the earlier email that we looked at, which was, I think it said, Phiri will run with it.
Yes.
You're saying that's where you drew your authority in respect of the other stations, effectively to execute
Yes.
Sekgolela's list as he gives it to you. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. In fact, what I should say is that the deployment on the 7th is in pursuance of the decision that was taken in the meeting of the 6th. Because the meeting of the 6th gives effect that Mr. Phiri will, in fact, let me read it so that I don't, it says, it tells Dr. Elvis Kwapeng Madikaba that please get Phiri to run with the process and let's monitor progress.
Yes.
Remember, in a meeting, already Sekgolela has told us, Herman, that we don't have this problem only here. We have a larger problem that you must deal with. So you must prepare yourself. Okay. So I'm now leaving my other duties, delegating them to another colleague of mine to say, please take care of my regions and stuff and my meetings, reschedule some of my meetings. And now I'm going to see what is happening. So they come in as they come to say, Mr. Phiri, because I've already given an instruction,
Yes.
now I must execute.
Understand. Thank you.
Mr. P, maybe to piggyback on that question, you will see that at page 7 of file 1, and then what is then referred to by Herman Sekgolela is what is called an updated list, which then appears on page 8.
Yes.
Now, when you look at that list and then you compare it with maybe go to file number 4 on page 153.
Page 153.
153, yes, of file 4.
One, 153.
153, yes, file 4.
One, 154.
153.
3.
File 4, and then 153.
Yeah, I have 153 and 154 in front of me.
Yes, so on 153, what you must see is a document that says a summary of sites allocated to Gubis by Mr. Phiri. Is that the one you have?
Summary of sites allocated to Gubis 85 by Mr. Phiri.
Yes. Now, this document, it's populated from the letters that you signed.
Yes.
Yes. And really the part of the question that Commissioner Baloyi was asking you was that, at the very least, accepting that even if for a moment that Herman Sekgolela had the authority to dictate to you, as you put in your statement, who to allocate and which sites in question. The question really, at the heart of it, is that on page 8, you have 19 sites that are identified. And then on your letters, on the summary of what we have here, you have 38 sites. It's actually 40, but I've subtracted 2, which belongs to Dr. Madikaba. So with yourself it's 38. And what we're trying to reconcile is that where did you obtain the instruction to allocate the difference?
Just the last question, so that I can give you a proper answer.
Yes, you have on page 8, what you referred us to is a list of sites, which is a total of 19 sites. But when you look at page 153, you have a total of 38 sites. So
Yes.
there's a whole difference of sites that don't accord to what you are telling us in terms of your email. So the question I'm asking you is that, how do you account for the remainder of the sites for a moment?
Okay. Remember the questions that were sent to me is authority, instruction, process, and generation and paying of POs. Now, I had to prove, commissioners, that I had authority from Director Malachi. I got an instruction from Director Malachi. Water and sanitation got their own people to work. I'm not responsible for, I'm answering those questions. But should have the question came and said, we need evidence to show that Mr. Seholela is sending you this list, and then I would have put the emails to show that I did not just go and identify a site. He identifies sites, he allocates goobies, and then mine is to go. There are emails to that effect. I am not just going around doing, even there are emails where he says, I have seen that I'm done maybe in Waverley. Please redeploy these guards to Sunderland Ridge. Because now he is in control. He's telling us where his problems are. And then we are going where he tells us. I don't identify these sites. He identifies them, but the question from the commission did not say, Phiri, show us how did you arrive at 38. I would have showed you that as much as I've given you the updated site, I would have shown you that the updated site also comes with new sites.
Mr. Musigi, perhaps in the interest of time, let's resolve this by affording Major Phiri an opportunity to supplement on this point.
Chair, I'm happy to do that, but the question still remains, and it's not really what was sent to him. The question remains is that the letters that he sent, and that's what he must answer to. This is what is before the commission.
That's pretty clear that it has only the number that you referred to, which is much lesser than or fewer than what you referred to later, and I don't think that will change in the interest of time. I think you've made your point. You've made your point with regard to that, and then that's what Major Phiri says he would have addressed had his mind been directed to that specifically. And it's on that I think, in fairness, we should afford him an opportunity to supplement. You are free to respond to me.
Yes, Chair. I take heed to that, Chair. I'll take the answer as it is, that at least for now, there's no account, even if we were to accept that he had authority from either Herman or Malachi, there's still a deficit of at least 50% of the letters that he can account for.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Phiri?
Major Phiri, you say, had your mind been directed to this issue, you would have been able to address it. So I afford the opportunity to supplement your statement by addressing this issue.
Definitely, Commissioner.
By when do you think you can file a supplementary statement?
First, I have to request Director Denis Minar to access, I have my laptop, but I have to access a municipal building. And then that, I cannot say by Friday.
Do you first, okay.
But the commission can give me a deadline, but I think by Wednesday, because I will definitely send them the request and the update.
Must I say it's Wednesday or Friday? What should I give you?
Wednesday.
Wednesday is fine.
Yes, Wednesday.
All
I will
right,
be
then
able
you
to
are
do that.
directed to file that.
Yes, I will work it over the weekend and then I will send them. Yes.
To file it by Wednesday.
Thank
next
you.
week. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Mr. Musigidi.
then-
Mr. Musigidi, I hope you don't feel that I curtailed your cross-examination on this. Because as I say, I think you've made your point and we understand it perfectly.
No, Chair, I accept that, Chair.
Thank you.
I'll move on from, well,
Thank you.
I'm still on the same point, but at
All
least on a
right.
different angle, Chair.
All right, all right.
Yes. Mr. Phiri, you testified that when you received, so the question is, when you received the instruction, finally, on the, on the 10th of January, that will be the email on page 1, LA01, from Mr. Herman Sokolela.
A,
Page 1, file 1.
page 1.
Yes, so you go to your first file, then it refers to your annexure L01 on page 1.
L01.
Yes,
Yes.
you see that. On top there is an email from Herman.
Page 1
Yes,
from Herman.
yes.
On
So go
page
to your
1 is-
annexures
It's
LA01.
Chukudu Malachi on page 1.
Yes, no, go to the very top of the email.
Yes.
You see that?
Yeah.
Now, that's an email addressed to you.
Yes.
Yes. And that is the email that gives you the go-ahead. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. So the question is that, how many sites did you then visit on the day?
On the day.
Yes.
There are no sites attached here on the 10th.
Yes.
Let me see this sites.
Remember your testimony is this, Mr. Phiri. Let me assist you. You say that finally you received the final go-ahead on the 10th,
Yes.
having taken into account all these developments between Mr. Hellman, Mr. Malachi,
Yes.
and you say on the 10th is what triggered you to start doing your job. And then obviously on the 14th you signed those letters. So the question is that, how many areas did you visit?
If you take out number 7 and number 10, because they are already done, and it's 19 sites. Or you take out number 1 also, it's 16. Moreleta, Grasfontein, Grootfontein, Carina, Ilados Park, Mokelneck. Oh, it's 15. You must take out number 19, Royval Belt Presser. It is already in force. He is not aware. I'm aware because it's the one that I'm taking, it started in May. So it's 15. So if I read you this, it's in Region 6. The reservoirs and Glenway, I see there's Glenway Estate Feeder. They are in Region 6. That is your Mamelodi up until Grasfontein. It takes me 4 hours to visit all of those sites. You take Rayton Reservoir and Refilwe. It is already, I know these 2 sites. This is what I'm talking about, that I've been to these sites before he can send me this. Because these sites, when he sends them, I realize that he is not aware. But I say to him, let me go to Rayton and Refilwe and satisfy myself. But I know them. I go there, it's in Region 5. When I'm finished with Mamelodi, I just drive up around, I think it's 15 kilometers. It is not exactly in that area. It's on the road going to Moloto. When you move from Glenway, I think it's just 5 kilometers in the bush. I just go there and I see the sites. But these are new sites. I've been there before. And it was in December, I think 2023. And then I go there. And then it says Florona LL Reservoir Pump Station. It's in Pretoria North. So already now...
Perhaps to deal with this more quickly, did you do all of this in one day or not?
Yes, I did.
And what was the day or date?
I think it was, he sent me this on the 10th. I think I either went, if I can see the email, I either went, I started on this day. Because remember now, commissioners.
Now, when you say you started, because you just said you did all of them in one day, when you say started, are you suggesting that you started and did not finish, or you started and finished?
I started and finished.
All right.
Because I'm on standby.
Okay, can you tell what date it was?
I believe I started on the same day.
On the same day?
Yeah, on the 10th.
Yes.
It must be just after 12.
All right, thank you. I think that's what you wanted to establish, Mr. Musigiri, not so much the order in which he did this and the time he took. Does that answer your question?
It does, Chairperson, answer the question. It just still begs the other question as to how many sites did he visit? Because the letters that were produced, according to our records at least,
I think he did answer that. He said, taking out this and that site, then it's this total. I think he did answer that. Unless you want him to just give you that total again.
yes, that will assist me for my notes.
Yes.
Okay. You take out number 1, and take out number 3 and 4. It's 3 now. You take out number 7. You take out number 10. You take out number 14, Glenway. You take out number 19. So I visited, it's 5 or 6. I visited 14 on that day. The nature of my work, advocate, I'm one person. I can start work at 6 and finish at 2 o'clock.
All that's wanted now is just the total.
Oh, it's 14.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Phiri. Can we then deal with the last subtopic before we go to the next stream? And this relates to the question that was posed probably earlier to you, and definitely it was canvassed with the CFO when he came here, Mr. Mnisi, as to the processes that ought to be followed. And that's something that I realize that you're also itchy to explain relating to purchase orders. Can you go to page 111 on file 4?
File 4.
Yes.
111, file 4.
Yes. Now, before you Thank you.
You assist me.
Now, before you get into, okay. So it's 111. Are you winning?
Yes, I'm there.
Yes. So there was much huff and puffing about the processes that relates to purchase orders and the processes.
Yes.
Now,
I hope your meaning of huffing and puffing is different to Mr. Mnisi's, because I know huffing and puffing to mean the opposite of what he said. Please continue.
indeed, Chair, I will try not to huff and puff. Mr. Phiri, do you recognize the document?
Yes.
Yes. What is that document?
It's a memo from Mr. T.P. Malachi and Mr. Navapile.
And it is dated 23 January 2023. Can you read into the record the subject matter of that letter or that memo?
Okay. Standard operating procedure, acquisition of additional new security services. The requesting department must address a request to the Office of the City Manager, Asset and Property Protection Unit. OCM, APPU will conduct a security risk assessments on the sites where security is required and make recommendations as well as provide quotations for the provision of such requested services. The requesting department must then send to the OCM APPU a formal letter of request signed by the cost center owner where the money will come from, indicating the cost center number, general ledger account, and how much must be committed for the services. The GL and cost center will be verified for sufficient funds. Upon funds being available, a purchase order will be created and sent to the cost center owner for release. Once a PO has been released, the OCM APPU will then go ahead and provide the services and monitor such services. Mr. T.P. Malachi signs it on the 23rd 01/2023, and Mr. Navapile approves.
We're not the city officials. Can you explain to us what's your fair understanding of the process here, Mr. Phiri, just to assist the commission?
To assist the commission, I would say there's, in the Office of the City Manager, it's a memo outlining the standard operating procedure. It indicates what must happen. But advocate commissioners, this was not followed on this instance. The reason is there were already services that were provided without our intervention, which were irregular from the Department of Water. We come to realize when they have a problem.
No, I get that. Before you get there, I was just saying on what the document, the process that it prescribes.
Yes.
Then we can come to this instance where it was followed or not. I think you did say for whatever reasons.
Yes,
Just
it
to
was not
understand
followed.
how it works.
How it works?
Yes, in terms of when you, in an ideal situation,
Yes.
and when would a purchase order be produced?
What it says here, it's true. A purchase order must be produced before work is done. But the systems in the city of Tshwane now, as we speak, as we are here, doesn't allow that. Because they don't rely on the quotation. They rely on an invoice. Remember now, here they are talking about the quotation. Creditors say, and SCM, we cannot produce a PO without an invoice. Hence I said to advocate commissioners, a quotation is as much as a deployment letter. Doesn't give effect for SCM or creditors to pay. So you must validate an invoice, then that entries are made to create a PO. as we are sitting here. Because, if you can create one PO now for services that will be rendered for 3 months, you can create it for 3 months. And there will be ease of operations. But then, you have validated with an invoice that this work is being done.
No, thank you. I think the document is clear as to what ought to be done.
Yes.
Chair, I still have to cover the financial aspect of relating to Mr. Phiri. And I see that it's 12:59.
Let's do that at 2 p.m. Let's adjourn until 2 p.m.